All right, let's rock and roll. Oops, let's put that there. Was that there? There we go. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Okay, here we go. Prologue. Prologue. Why am I saying it like a weirdo? Prologue. Reese. Beep, beep, beep. Exhaling. The sound drew me from. Ooh, let's fucking put that the right color. Oh my god. I'm heavy on the clicking today. What's going on here? Exhaling. Exhaling. The sound drew me from a deep sleep. Very slowly, I turned my head, blinking several times to try to understand what I was hearing. Monitors. A hospital. Every muscle screamed with discomfort. Even the slightest movement was exhausting. The needle in my arm caught my attention, and I slowly followed the trail with my eyes to the clear bag hanging from an IV stand. A single shift, and I winced, finding it difficult to catch my breath. You're awake. Very slowly, I shifted my eyes toward the sound of the deep voice. Hi, Daddy. My father was a huge man, always a little gruff around the edges. He'd been my hero growing up, protective in every sense of the word. He'd never been too busy for his family, even though he was a very important man. But as he stood, slowly coming closer, I realized I'd never seen him look so exhausted, or so pale. He'd lost weight. His once hefty mass slowly withered away by months of anxiety and sleepless nights. Let's make that a little bigger down here. Hefty mass slowly withered away by. My neighbor's dog is baying right now. You can hear it in the background. We're so pale. We're so pale. He'd lost weight. His once hefty mass slowly withered away by months of anxiety and sleepless nights. But he was still my dad, always by my side. I'm right here, Angel. He took my hand into his, squeezing my fingers. I didn't think you'd make it. He'd been out of the country for weeks. His smile was forced. Of course, baby girl. Still groggy, I was having difficulty piecing together why I was so tired. Then it suddenly came to me. As soon as I tried to jerk up, I winced. What happened? Brianna? Is she... I mean... I couldn't find my voice. The sudden agony twisting my heart, nothing physical, but the emotional anguish was even worse. Whoa, girlie, slow down. It's okay. Will she make it? I licked my dry lips, struggling to keep from crying. I'd shed so many tears, I was surprised I had any left. His squeeze was a reminder of just how close our family was, distance never truly separating us. The doctors won't know for certain for at least a couple of weeks, but everything looks good so far. Your mom is with her right now. She did very well. Let's try that again. Is with her right now. She did very is with her right now. She did very is with her right now. She did very well. A strong soldier just like you are. A soldier in the fight for her life. Oops, let's say the right line, bruh. Like you. A soldier in the fight of her life. Closing my eyes, I turned my head so he didn't notice the tears slipping down my face. A single racking sob forced me to bite my lower lip. Hey, my beautiful daughter, don't do that. You've given your baby sister a chance at life. What you did was brave and amazing. Brave? Amazing? What the hell had I done? My sweet baby sister had spent more than half her life inside hospitals. Chemotherapy, radiation. She'd missed birthdays and holidays. She'd been unable to play with her friends, kept cooped up inside the house for fear of compromising her body's immune system. My little sister deserved a chance to thrive, not just exist. This was her last chance. Brianna was so intelligent and so eager for life. She loved everything, every animal, every bird, even snakes. There's a fucking loudest hum I've ever heard in the background right now. What is going on? What's up, Wolfgang? She loved everything. Every animal, every bird, even snakes. Her room was filled with stuffed dogs and bears, giraffes and elephants, seals and dolphins, because she couldn't have a pet of her own. She loved to draw just like I did, but God, she was much more talented. She adored K-pop music and movies, her favorite Pocahontas and the Twilight Saga, and hula hoops. I bit back a laugh as a vision of her brought that's a cool word. You've got a cool voice, thank you. Appreciate it. Hula hoops. Appreciate it. I suppose that's why I get to narrate these nifty audiobooks. Hula hoops. I bit back a laugh. Hula hoops. I wonder if I can hear that. Fuck. Let me do an audio check right quick. Why don't I spend one day to untangle the rat's nest of cables I seem to acquire by the end of every day? Come on. Come to me. I know you're 46 feet long. Good Lord, come on. Come on. Come on, I need the end of you. Voila. Okay, give me a moment here. Crank that to max. Favorite Pocahontas and the Twilight Saga, and hula hoops. Yeah, we're good. We good, baby. Hula hoops. I bit back hula hoops. I bit back a laugh as a vision of her bright purple hoop tickled my mind. She was Daddy's little princess. She was my little leech. And I loved every moment of her following me around, her eyes wide open, giggling, wanting to be just like her big sister. She has to live, I said, fighting for control of my emotion, failing with a hard thud as I seemed to do with everything else. Girlie, have faith. I believe your sister's going to be just fine. All because of you. You're her guardian angel. Never forget that. Her guardian angel, and you've been watching out for her the rest of her life. Oops. Never forget that. Her guardian angel, and you'll be watching out for her for the rest of her life. Brianna is so lucky to have you. You gave her the ultimate gift. I would do anything for her. I'd walk through fire if necessary. All I wanted in my life was for her to have a chance. There was so much for her to live for. I'm trying, Daddy. I know, honey. Because of you, Brianna will have a future full of love, family, and so much happiness. That's the prologue. Chapter 1. chapter 1. Complete. Okay. What happened to my TikTok? Did you even show up today? TikTok monitor live. What's up, Tess? Hello, Haley. What's up, Sarah? Okay, let's go. Chapter 1. Oops, let's mute the old shite, huh? Can't play them both at the same time. Okay, here we go. Chapter 1. 10 years later. Reese. This is intermittently spicy. Yes, it is a more like a vigilante crime series here. It does have some spicy parts. The majority of this, if it follows the structure of the last book, few spicy chapters, yep. Years later. What's up, Megan? All right, here we go. Next. His gruff voice coming from behind a dark drape sent a shower of ugly current through every muscle, fear into my stomach. I suddenly couldn't move, terrified that I'd made a horrible decision. Get moving. You have no other choice. The chiding from my inner voice did little to boost my courage. Get out here, sweetheart. We don't have all fucking day. Trust me, you're nothing special. The man standing behind me pushed me forward with enough force I almost tripped. While I was terrified, being manhandled wasn't in my repertoire. Watch it, asshole! After catching myself before falling on my face, I threw him a hateful look. Whoa, why did my computer just go into Mach 12? Calm down, fans! Quiet down! I'm all for it. Let's go. Let's go, Nia. This is a great series, by the way. It is fun. Piper's knocking it out of the park. Watch it, asshole. Watch it, asshole. After catching myself before falling on my face. Oh my god, I just punched my keyboard! Asshole. After catching myself before falling on my face, I threw him a hateful look. While the hulking mass was impeccably dressed, he had bouncer goon vibes. I envisioned... Was that a word that I tried to say? Neat. Neato. Vibes. Ooh, let me... Hold on, I gotta move this. Get! Maybe grab some agua. Oh. Oh, delicious. Nia, thank you for following. I appreciate that. Ooh, who didn't put their phone on silent? Jeez Louise, the cardinal sin. Shoosh. Shoosh phone. Okay, doke. Let's go. Let's continue. Goon vibes. You got them goon vibes. Can I find my spot? There we go. I can read, I promise. I think. Okay. Can I read this line? It's I. It's not even a hard word. I envisioned him carrying brass knuckles as a weapon of choice. His eyes lit up as he made snake sounds. The slithering tongue licking his lips as disgusting as everything about him. A feisty one. Our members like that. Members. The single word reminded me why I was here. To find my sister. My father's voice remained in the back of my mind. To find my sister. My father's voice remained in the back of my mind, a soft echo that never subsided. You're her guardian angel. But I'd ceased to be over a year before. I'd forsaken her, annoyed with my sister for so many things. For living dangerously, for tossing aside. Dangerously? For tossing aside the joy she'd found, the life she'd been allowed to live. It was quite possible I was just a horrible person. She owed me nothing, but she did owe herself. Maybe I just needed to kick her upside the head like sisters did. If only I hadn't been so busy. Although, that wasn't entirely true. I hadn't been able to stand watching her destroy her life. Now I wasn't a guardian angel, but an avenging one. If anyone had hurt her or touched her inappropriately, they would face my wrath. Hell had no... Okay, let's not pause so long. Face my wrath. Hell hath no fury like a big sister with a cause. Okay. The cause. All my investigations had led me to this place, in this moment, prepared to degrade myself for acceptance. Okay, let's not say it so weird! The cause. All my investigations had led me to this place and this moment. Wow, dude. This moment. Prepared to degrade myself for acceptance into some twisted club full of aging, wealthy men with sadistic hungers. I shuddered from the thought, but I'd come too far to blow my single chance at finding her. When I didn't cower, the asshole hissed, "Get the fuck out there or get out. Those are your choices." Fine. Your fucking body better be worth that mouth. If only I could shove my fist into his. Calm down and breathe. Pretend. I held my head high, envisioning Brianna's face, and come on. Pretend. I held my head high, envisioning... Wow, dude, I'm falling off here. Pretend. I held my head high, envisioning Brianna's face as I stepped from behind the curtain, immediately assaulted by bright lights. Wincing, I shielded my eyes and did my best to keep from tripping. Wincing, I shielded my eyes and did my best to keep from tripping. "Stand on the X," the same voice from before said from the ominous shadows. With my feet full of lead, I did as I was told. At least the X was easy to see. Once I'd reached the spot, I sensed there were at least 3 men in the audience. But with the horrific lighting, there was no way of seeing anything about their... Okay. The audience. But with the... Okay, we'll get through it. The audience. But with the horrific lighting... And then I lost my spot. Love it. The audience. But with the horrific lighting, there was no way of seeing anything but their silhouettes. "Name. Just your first name. No one has any intention of becoming acquainted with anything but your body." Let me do that again. Better. Way of seeing silhouettes. "Name. Just your first name. No one has any intention of becoming acquainted with anything but your body." The demand came from another man, his irritation evident by the terseness in his tone. The social media post on TikTok had promised big money modeling, the only clue I'd found in my sister's things. I'd followed the trail, applying online after asking a friend to take several provocative pictures of me. I'd applied on a whim after being stonewalled by the pictures of me. I'd applied on a whim after being stonewalled by the Miami is the word I am looking for. Fudge! I'd applied on a whim after being stonewalled by the Miami... Why am I saying it so fucking weird? I'd applied on a whim after being stonewalled by the Miami Police Department. That had been after the Jacksonville police had all but closed the missing persons case on my sister. And why? Because my sister wasn't a good girl, unworthy of wasting valuable resources on. The words spouted off by the detective burned in my mind. I'd even overheard in my mind. I'd even overheard one bastard in uniform laughing about her. As if two misdemeanors... Okay, there's this, and we will scroll. Laughing about her. As if two misdemeanors, when she was 15 years old, meant she was a horrible person not worth finding. I'd told the bastards about the link and my suspicions, but as I expected, they hadn't cared. So here I was, and I was determined to bring down the monsters by myself if necessary. I threw my head over my shoulder, ignoring the blinding light, as I shifted my gaze from where I believed one man sat, sprawled out to another. Reese. All fire and brimstone. All right, Reese. Turn in a full circle. The first man who'd snapped at me had returned, giving Jerome again. All right, Reese. Brimstone. All right, Reese. Turn in a full circle. The first man who'd snapped at me had returned, giving directions. I did as he asked. Slower. My nerves were shot. I hadn't slept in 2 days, hiding in a seedy motel room while mentally preparing. Giving directions. I hadn't slept in... Slower. My nerves were shot. I hadn't slept in 2 days, and hiding in a seedy motel... Oh my god, I added a whole word. Slower. My nerves were shot. I hadn't slept in 2 days, hiding in a seedy motel room while mentally preparing. I'd been given no directions as to what I could expect. I'd chosen a simple red dress, a loaner from a friend of mine. After finishing the task, I had no idea what they were doing. I couldn't see any movement, and they weren't talking. They were just... They were just watching. Seconds ticked by. At least 2 minutes. My heart was racing, butterflies churning in my knotted stomach. What in the hell were they waiting for? Undress. The commanding man. Undress. The commanding man and his voice left a furrowing thought in my mind that he was the one in charge. Not the first guy who called for me. Burps. Not that it mattered. In my mind, they were all equally evil. My expression had obviously changed from the shock of bearing down on me. Okay, I added a word. Cool. Equally evil. Equally evil. My expression had obviously changed from the shock bearing down on me, becoming harder, nastier. Somehow, I sensed when one of the bastards was prepared to blow me off. Wait, I'll do it. You bet there was disdain in my voice. That was my personality, even though I was usually forced to hide my true feelings given my profession. I'd practiced pushing my mind into a whimsical I'd practiced pushing my mind... I hit my fucking keyboard again, god damn it. I'd practiced pushing my god. I'd practiced pushing my mind to a whimsical location, protecting myself to endure rounds of humiliation. Now I was no longer certain I could fake it. Fuck. Humiliation. Now I was no longer certain I could fake it as long as necessary. But I had to try. As I untied the sash on my wraparound dress, I reminded myself for the 10th time why I was humiliating myself. When the dress was pulled around my heels, I stood defiantly. Turn. This time I didn't hesitate. Okay, why did I fucking sound like I just took my first breath? Turn. Turn. This time I didn't hesitate, even managing to put a little sway in my hips. I'd splurged and purchased a sexy lace bra and matching thong in bright crimson, using it as a prop in the costume. To boost my ability? With a P? The costume. To boost my ability into... Fuck, come on. The costume. To boost my ability to pretend. We'll do it again! The costume. To boost my ability to pretend. Even if I'd never paraded around in such skimpy attire before in my life, suddenly, I wasn't the junior high teacher any longer. I was a model. Another full minute went by. All of it! The command came. Oh, let's say that different. It went by. All of it! The command came, and I think the third guy in the room had finally opened his mouth. My stomach lurched. The bastards wanted me to remove my panties and bra. Just breathe and do it. Think about Brianna. This was just a sick game to repulsive men who believed women were nothing but objects. At least the anger forming inside allowed me a moment of courage. I did what they asked, fighting the girl inside, the one who believed in princes and heroes, with white picket fences and happily ever afters to keep from running out the door. Just like running out the door. Just like Brianna had believed in. Now I fought tears and hatred, shame and disgust, no longer able to feel my toes. Even before they asked, I turned. Once my back was to them, I allowed a single tear to fall. Not one more. They wouldn't beat me. They would not break my spirit or my resolve. Fuck them. The moment I turned to face them, I managed a fake smile. Step forward. Now the man sounded bored. I just didn't care. I did as they asked, hating my reaction, the goosebumps appearing on my skin. Nice stock, the one with the gruff voice said. Typical, the commanding one barked out. Let's see what we have. I don't know what I expected, but when the third of the group slipped his hand between my legs, roughly grabbing my pussy, I reacted without thinking. The hard crack across his face echoed in the room. Without thinking. The hard crack across his face echoed in the room. Stumbling backwards, I recoiled as soon as I'd realized what I'd done, expecting one of the assholes to retaliate. Their silence was even worse than any loud voice or act of violence. I'd blown it. My one chance to save my sister, and I'd blown it. Why are you here? From this angle, I could tell the man in charge was now leaning forward. With his With his fingers steepled, I could tell he was losing interest. In response, I licked my lips before answering. The strawberry lip gloss a reminder of everything I wasn't. Because I want to be a model. Why do you think? The other two men chuckled. This is very special modeling. Did the gruff-voiced asshole actually growl? Was he kidding me? I don't care what it is, I countered. All experience is good experience, no matter what I need to do. All experience is good experience, no matter what I need to do. I'd been prepared to play the girl with no other choice game if necessary, but my instinct told me that's not what they were looking for. They wanted a fighter for whatever show they offered to their clientele. Another few seconds followed by a prompting from the gruff man to the one in charge. Woo, what did I say? Nothing correct. Show they offered to their clientele. There's the loudest helicopter flying over right now. I dig it. It's super cool. Oh. Okay. Show they offered to their clientele. Another few seconds, followed by a prompting from the gruff man to the one in charge. What do you want to do with her, Lucifer? Lucifer. What a perfect name for a psychotic predator. Maybe I'd be punished for my actions, but I shifted closer to where the man sat, preening in his chair, cocking my head as I peered down at him. If he wasn't impressed or annoyed, I would know it. The monster was stone cold silent. You'll be given an address for it. Okay, let's do this again. What's up, Tiffany? There was stone cold silence. Let's try to get the right punch in. The monster was stone cold silent. You'll be given an address for tomorrow night. Be there precisely at 8. If you are 1 minute late, you will never hear from us again. Is that understood? Exhaling, I kept my hard stare for a few seconds too long. Why, yes, sir. Then we'll see if you have what it takes to please the privileged. Okay, there's a section break. I need to add Lucifer, by the way. Fantasy novel. This is, yes, it is a crime fantasy. Yes. Okay, let's go to character voices. Wabam. Wabam. Lucifer. We add his voice in. Perfect. Continue. We may continue. Thank you for the follow. Book 1 has been out for a couple of months. And this is book 2. We're just beginning it here. And Piper did a absolute killer job with this series. It's a good time. Okay, here we go. Relax. The privileged. Predators in suits. Monsters living in luxurious homes and driving fancy cars. Men who truly believed they were owed everything in life. Oh, I hated what I was doing. Exhaling, I checked my phone. 7:55. Check my phone. 7:55. I'd been in the parking lot for 30 minutes, at least 20 of them with my small but fierce inner voice telling me I was a fool for doing this. Yet, I gotta redo that shit. Check my phone. 7:55. I'd been in the parking lot for 30 minutes, at least 20 of them with my small but fierce inner voice telling me I was a fool for doing this. Yet, every time I was prepared to start the rental car and flee, I thought about the last conversation I'd had with... Okay. The rental car and flee. I thought about the last conversation I'd had with Brianna. We'd argued. I'd lost my patience. For the first time, I'd finally told her what I thought of her ridiculous, reckless behavior. Especially after she decided to throw aside college and pursue modeling. Out of the blue. The words were burned into my mind, the very reason for sleepless nights and anger like I'd never felt before. Those glasses look great on you. Oh, thank you. They're brand new. They're brand new. I just got them for my birthday. Never felt before. Let's see. I'd never felt before. I'd never felt before. I scrolled and lost my spot. There we go. I'd never felt before. All directed toward me and my horrible thoughts. Why don't you grow up, Brianna? It's time you stop acting like a child, freeloading off of everyone in your family. I'd never been so harsh. The words and the hatred I'd spewed with them would never be forgotten or forgiven. That's why I had to see this through, no matter what I was forced to endure. I was her guardian angel, and it was about time I started acting like it. Sudden headlights grabbed my attention. Exhaling, I stepped from the... Okay, let's not pop my pee so hard. My attention. Exhaling, my attention. Exhaling, I stepped from the car, sliding the keys into the fanny pack I'd brought with me. I hadn't known what to expect, wearing jeans and a t-shirt. With no instructions given, to hell with them if they weren't happy. I stood where I was as a dark van pulled to a stop a few feet away. Just like the lights from the day before, the headlights made me unable to make out any features of the person driving. He remained where he was, the engine idling. Suddenly, I heard a noise, a slam of the side door, boots on the ground. Before I knew what was happening, 3 huge figures on the ground. Before I knew what was happening, 3 huge figures advanced, their faces covered in dark ski masks. I instantly, oopsies, let's not forget a word. Dark ski masks. I knew instantly I'd made a huge mistake. When one goon grabbed my arm, I managed a single scream before a bag was shoved over my face. Mistake. Huge mistake. When one goon grabbed my arm, I managed a single scream before a bag was shoved over my face and I was ripped off the ground. I'd advise you to shut up, bitch, or you won't like what will happen to you. Jeepers Creepers. Okay, so we're going to call it there today for a couple of reasons. Boy, I didn't do very much time. Stinker. That's fine, though. We got a lot to do. Thank you for hanging out, those of you who remain, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go live for 2 books this month, 2 different ones, and we're going to be alternating them.